Alright, second countdown.
Okay, in 3, 2, 1, go!
Alright, we're back. Sorry for the inconvenience there, but we're gonna be going right back with a few really nice skips on this windmill. So, if I can actually backflip off of it. Let me do that. So right before the stream went down, I was jumping up at 3. That's basically where we started off again. So now in the next level, we'll be doing another boss fight, which involves using the bee power-up. Even though you don't really need to fight the boss with the bee, you only actually need to get the bee to get to the location where it is. This level has a nice alliteration though. Big Bad Bugaboo. Triple B. So yeah, basically what the bees tell you is that that their neighbors are actually causing trouble. So they ask Luigi, as their fellow member of the bee community, to go over there and see if he can fix it. And apparently we gotta fix it with violence, because that's how Luigi is. So I guess. So for this part, the game intends wants you to use its dandelions to fly to the next spot, but you got enough stamina to actually just fly over. It's a little bit faster than actually getting into those flowers. Here's the boss. You need to ground pound on him 3 times. First time is really easy, you just fly up to him and ground pound on him. Now he's actually flying around, which makes it a bit more difficult, but luckily he always has the same AI over here, so if you just walk to the left and fly up, you can actually get on top of him. We lost our bee power up though, which isn't necessarily bad since we can actually do a backflip up to him. Which turned out really well. Normally we actually try to lose the bee there, and we walk to the water, what I was doing before with Luigi. Just because we then can do long jumps when going to the star, which is a little bit faster than using bee Luigi. So this next level is really interesting. This is gonna be the first part where we're actually gonna utilize the motion controls of the Wii. Because Nintendo released this console, and it shouldn't be right if we wouldn't utilize the controls of the Wiimote. So we're gonna be serving on a Manta. This Manta is actually nice though in comparison to the one in Sunshine. So before we can actually start doing this course, we need to, of course, first walk over to the Manta, but there's this big penguin who is sort of blocking our way, and he wants to know if we ever done this before. And even though I've done this many times before, he still wants to explain to me what we're doing. So first, we gotta hold our Wiimote straight forward. Beautiful. Then, to turn left, you have to twist left. Makes sense, right? Then, going right would be twisting right. Anyone can assume that, right? But I still have to explain it though. Just making sure that you don't turn some other way to go right. So this course is just gonna be... there isn't that much we can do to make this level go by faster. we'll just be trying to cut corners as much as possible. These waves in the water can be a little bit random though. They can sometimes just launch you up out of nowhere. Also, we tried to avoid all the 1-ups in this run. Unfortunately, we didn't. The first time you grab a 1-up, it actually gives a text box like we just saw. It freezes the game for a little bit, but it only happens for the first 1-up though. So every time we grab a 1-up now, it doesn't give any more text boxes. Now we are gonna do the leap of fade. Not really though. It's just a jump. Be careful not to take this corner too sharp. The fun thing about this level, well, not really fun, but the thing that can happen is once you're already past this goal and you jump off the level, you actually still die, even though they say you already completed the level. You can still get into this cutscene and Luigi will just fly off the screen afterwards. It looks really funny when it happens. So now that we got 8 stars, it means that we unlocked the first Bowser Jr. level. And Bowser Jr. likes to use big robots or lets others do the work for him. So in this fight we'll be fighting Mega Leg, which is an enormous robot with mega legs. Wait, never mind, I forgot, we're doing one more level. Whoops! More on Mega Leg later. We first gotta do this small sub-level, which only has 1 star in it, and all you gotta do is make all these panels yellow. This is actually the first time we see cycles in this game. The cycles start at the moment you fly into the level. Hopefully we can make the first cycle by not getting hit by the spiky platform in them. I wanted to get that one blue platform, but we still are on the first cycle. We just have to do a little bit of movement later. Dodge the spiky platform there. Oh, we got hit, but at least we unlocked all the panels. So now that we got 8 stars, now we can go to Mega Leg. I might make a mistake here and there with the routing. I think I know in which order to do levels, but in a little bit the run gets a little bit more complicated in the terms of routing, because now we're just doing the same stars in this dome until we unlock Bowser, or Bowser Jr. in this case. But later we have to move from dome to dome now and then, which hopefully I remember when to leave domes, but I think we will be good. So now Mega Leg. So this robot with mega legs, we first need to clear this first planet, which the game intends you to actually get a bullet bill and break open one of these cages. However, the gravity field of the next planet is huge. It's enormous. So we can actually get to the next planet by going high enough on this planet. And you just fly over to this planet. We actually have to... Normally you land on this platform, so the cutscene normally triggers automatically. However, if you do the skip like that, you actually have to move there. And it can be really annoying if you don't know where that platform is. Once I started running this game, I've been lost on this planet so often. It's a pretty small platform to actually find. So now, for Mega Leg, we have to go up, climb up to his head, where actually his weak point is, which we gotta hit with bullet bills. Oh, don't slide off the cogs. So we'll use this first one to hit the cage around it. And as you can see, there's the Grand Star. but there are some fences around it. You can knock those down with hitting them with a bullet bill. However, if you jump high enough here, it'll actually follow you and go over the fence. Which makes this boss fight way quicker than Nintendo intended. Thank you, Nintendo, for never placing invisible walls in this game. Well, I say that, but there's like one point where it's... two times in a row where it's annoying that there are invisible walls. But there are still many instances where Nintendo should have placed an invisible wall, but didn't. And I'm happy for it, which means we can go faster. So now after collecting this Grand Star, we unlock the next dome, which is the fountain. Which, in the first level, I'll be doing a skip which I haven't done that much yet. Hopefully I can get it pretty fast. It's a really cool skip which skips like about half of the level. But first Rosalina gotta talk to us again. And we gotta see that a new level was unlocked in the fountain. So she tells you a bit that the Comet Observer, once it has enough star power, it can actually fly to the center of the universe, which will be 60 stars, so we need 51 more stars before we can do the final level. Actually go back here, just because it's a little bit shorter, if I don't get stuck. The game intends you to use this teleporter, which actually takes you up there, but just doing a triple jump and spinning afterwards is also good enough. Using teleporters is usually really slow, but there are some teleporters that we just can't avoid. So Space Junk. Another level where we're gonna see our friends the Toads. Because they're nice to us again and sort of found the location of where the star is. But they got trapped along the way. So we gotta save the Toads as well. This is also the first level where we're gonna use lots of pool stars. I'll be going for a skip here though. Hopefully I make it. Aw. Didn't get it. I'll try to go for it one more time. Otherwise I'll just do the level the regular way. Okay, I'm not getting it. Oh, it doesn't lose that much time to do it the regular way. It would have looked really cool though. Which means I gotta show off this planet, and although the mechanics are usually pretty good in this game, it doesn't work very well on small planets. Once you get to certain points on these planets, Luigi just moves to almost a random location, even if you always move to the same direction on the control stick. Sometimes he'll just go turn around in circles. But yeah, the skip would have landed us on these big pool star balls. Also, I bunked a little bit on that pool star planet, just so we aren't actually in the 2D platform there anymore. So we can really cheese that part of the pool stars, because you think it's just a 2D plane when you play this regularly. But if you don't do that, you can just skip the rocks. Now we have the first instance of silver stars. You need to collect 5 of these to actually make the stars spawn. And it's a lot of moving platforms. Well, the pattern of where the platforms are is always the same. But you just don't know where they are, unless you play this game a lot and you know where you can do long jumps to reach the next platform. One more over here. And I don't know where Luigi is moving after this cutscene. Because Luigi keeps his momentum once you collect the 5th one, and it has happened to me before that Luigi just ran off the platform there. Just because Luigi is a bit more slippery than Mario, so it takes a little while to actually stop moving once you let go of the control stick. So I prefer to do a side flip there, just to make sure that I don't run off. So with that, we have the first 10 stars. 1/6 of the way done. Now we're going to an air fleet. Wait, well, there are not that many ships though. I wouldn't really call it a fleet. It's only 4 ships. That's still a fleet though. But we won't be seeing anything of the real level. I guess I just needed sort of a filler for this level. And I didn't really know what to do anymore with junk in space. So right here, you gotta hit a switch to make this bridge go fall down. But Luigi can jump pretty far. He can easily make it back here. Then we gotta grab these shells to actually open chests, which you think you can throw instantly there, but the Magic Koopa, for some reason, always goes right in front of you there. Unfortunately, we can't long jump far enough for this bridge, so we gotta kill these guys. However, we won't immediately go on top of there. We're actually gonna grab an extra shell, because there's a boss fight coming up, which you actually need to hit with shells, so having a shell early will save a little bit of time, not having to wait for this boss to shoot shells at you. And there's the star we need to get. So that's already a free hit. Oh, you always have to wait for a fireball here first. And you just gotta wait a little bit until he shoots the shell, which you can quickly grab by spinning right when he shoots it. Now he sends out these little minions, which you don't necessarily have to kill, but they can be quite annoying with shooting more fireballs. Oh, I actually got hit by the shell. It was a bit too close. Now we gotta wait a bit longer to let him shoot the next shell. Oh. Gotta make sure I don't miss here. And that's another one. So this next level is gonna be pretty interesting. The first half involves a very precise triple jump, which makes us able to skip collecting some star chips. But then the second part is an auto-scroller, so then we just gotta wait around a bit. Luckily there are many star bits laying around, which is really useful to collect now, since we need to collect 400 for the first Hungry Luma. Wait, I keep forgetting my route. We're first doing a different level. Oops. I always forget this level. Alright, we're not doing that yet. We're first gonna do more motion controls. The mechanics of these... what you gotta do in this level is stand on this ball and go through this course. And the mechanics of the balls are not that difficult. It's just holding the controller like up and then moving forward to lean it forward to make you go forward. The only thing that can really fasten this level up is avoiding jumps, because every time you do a jump you lose a lot of your momentum. And we try to keep our momentum up as much as possible, but sometimes we just have to make a jump just to avoid not falling into gaps. Also, an important factor is to avoid the Goombas, because those always also kill your momentum. I really love how the music starts playing faster when you start going faster with the ball as well. Oh. Oh, no. As you saw there, it lost a lot of momentum hitting that Goomba. What I haven't mentioned before, you can, to make Luigi spin, you can either shake the Wiimote or the nunchuck. However, Luigi, even though Mario jumps higher, spins higher when you shake the Wiimote, Luigi actually spins higher when you spin the nunchuck, which makes it... It's a cool mechanic they added to that show that Luigi is still a little bit different than Mario. But at first, running this game, spinning the nunchuck really feels unnatural though, but you get used to it. So now, this is time where we get the auto-scroller. But the most important question in this level is, how many tries will it take me to get this skip? Because I'm not very good at this skip. Sometimes I need like over 10 tries to actually get it, which would have already been faster to just collect the star chips. But who knows? We'll see. Seems good. Nice, we got a first try. We're actually gonna see this level again, because later there will be another star over here. Unfortunately, we can't access it yet, so we gotta just return later. And now it's basically an auto-scroller where we farm star bits, and you can really mess around here a lot. Most important thing is that you grab as many star bits as you can, and of course, don't die. Because there are a lot of cannonballs flying around, but if you do a lot of backflips, it's pretty easy to avoid most of them. Also, a lot of these electric fences can be avoided by doing backflips. Then there's a big coin here, which actually makes even more star bits fun. Normally you can get about 70 to 80 star bits in this level. It's at least something useful to do during the auto-scroller. Gotta make sure to avoid this cannonball, and then we skip the final part a little bit. Now we gotta get a bullet bill and actually make it hit the cage where the star is in. It was actually a pretty good level. Making that bullet bill, getting that bullet bill to the star is more difficult than it seems, because the bullet bill likes to auto-lock on those other cages on that first platform. You gotta really stand really close to the edge to actually make it move around it. So now we get introduced to the prankster comets. The prankster comets are like a little variation to the level you're doing, but adding an extra challenge. So either having to do it within a time limit, doing it with only 1 health, or even some more unique ones like racing a counterpart Luigi. We won't see the prankster comets for a little while longer, but they'll be coming up around after the next Bowser fight, I think. I'm pretty sure. As I said, not 100% sure about the route, but I know where to go when I get there. So now we gotta utilize some bomb bombs. These bomb bombs, like bullet bills, can also break the cages. They take a little while to explode though, so we always want to hit the bomb bomb as quickly as possible, and then we can just take our time by getting it to the correct cage, and then we just wait around a bit. This next planet, a lot of chain jumps. And we're just gonna avoid it all. There's actually a rainbow Luigi on this planet, which makes you able to destroy all these chain jumps. But nothing happens when you kill them, you only get star bits, which... why would we do that? Also, you might have seen a Hungry Luma there in the background. Unfortunately, we won't be doing that planet. That planet is really cool though, because it's the only reference to Yoshi in this game. But since it's pretty slow to collect enough star bits in this level here before going there, we don't do it in the route. Some more pool stars. Gotta make sure I don't hit any of the mines. Collecting some extra star bits on the gate there. Then in here we gotta break another cage. But this time the bomb-bombs are moving. Although it doesn't really matter, because once you spin into them, they stop moving. Now the next thing we gotta do is get into this cannon here and actually free a Luma that's stuck in a crystal. There's also a cannon on the other side, because Nintendo thinks we have to do this twice. But if you actually aim at the middle of the crystal, you can actually break both layers of the crystal and go just instantly into the launch star. And the final part here, we gotta unlock one more cage. We also try to, like with the star bits, if you grab coins during one of the levels, you get a text box after the level. So we try to avoid collecting the coins as well. But sometimes you just can't skip them. So one more level to do in Battle Rock, which involves some up and down gravity again. Also, we're not doing the... As you saw, there was a red comment next to that that other level. The red comment means it's a speedrun level, but for speedrun levels you usually have to do the entire level again, so we won't be doing any of the speedrun comments. We'll be doing other comments though, which, like, the rest of the comments are usually just a tiny part of the level, which makes getting the comments usually way quicker than doing regular levels. So on the next planet we'll be utilizing the star bit shoot function again. There will be some spinning guys that you have to hit into the electric fence, but you can also hit them with star bits, and if I aim correctly it actually goes right into it. I missed unfortunately, so I'll just spin him into that. Transform! So the upside down gravity segment is coming up. Luckily, you can skip a lot of things in this spot. First things first, these arrows reverse gravity, but we can skip that first one. Also, you can get on top of that question mark block and just skip another big part there. And I got stuck. Oops, I thought I could make that cycle. That's unfortunate. Just gotta do it again. Which actually I wanted to try showing off a triple jump off that block there though, but... Oh, that Goomba. Okay. You can get a slightly faster cycle if you actually can do a triple jump up there, but it's not too bad. So for this guy, I'll try to do a triple jump without getting hit by the electricity. That's unfortunate. Now we actually have to use the guy. It's pretty hard to actually get a triple jump there and not get hit, but it doesn't lose that much time if you miss it. Now we need to hit more spinies into electricity fences. I missed again. Come on. now there's a boss fight coming up, which this is probably the quickest boss fight in the run. It's just, you can almost instantly damage him. You just need to jump onto his head once and then hit him into the electric fence. With so yeah, really quick boss fight. And now, if I'm correct, I have been incorrect many times before, but I think the Bowser level is coming up now. Which, it's always the Bowser levels always alternate between Bowser Jr. and Bowser. So since we did Bowser Jr. before this Bowser fight, this one will be Bowser again. And Bowser levels usually involve first going through a longer segment first, just going through a sort of castle. There are a few small skips in this level though, which I'll try to be utilizing. So for this first part we just do many long jumps, because long jumps are usually the fastest form of transportation. Unless we have to start making lots of corners. This part, this guy actually doesn't start falling down until you get him. I wasn't fast enough. No one saw that. No, it's intentional to die there. Would you believe me if I say that? Anyway, we do a few long jumps there so we can skip that moving platform. Waiting for that moving platform, I should say, because it takes time to use that. Also, not gonna fall into your trick again. We're actually using this swamp to actually jump over that set of fireballs. Lava boost! We'll be actually seeing quite some lava boost. Well, not that many, but Bowser is also a fan of lava boost. So we can skip the final part of this segment by just doing a backflip to the loading zone. But yeah, the Bowser fights are, most of the time they're the same. It's always he brings you up to this planet up in the sky, and there are some big blue spots on there. You gotta make Bowser jump on those spots, because he'll actually break the glass that's on top of it and hits the lava underneath. There we go. Do the lava boost. Let's go! Now to make the cycle go a little bit quicker, we spin into Bowser's head, just so he stops shooting fireballs. You can technically get stuck under him, which makes his first jump immediately hit the blue circle again. It's pretty difficult to do consistently though, but we have one more try to get it. Oh, I didn't get stuck underneath him. That means he'll gotta do 2 jumps. Oh. If you start moving too fast, Bowser he usually goes in the opposite direction of where you are, but if you already move too far, he'll actually start measuring distance along a different line along the circle or along the ball. So that sometimes you think he starts going left, but since you're already so far left, he'll just go up, because that apparently was a longer distance. So, and actually in that big ball was a grand star. So with this grand star we'll be unlocking the next dome, and also lining up a new part of the observatory. I would say this is where the game starts getting a bit harder. Not per se because the levels are that much harder, it's just because we gotta start doing some more difficult skips. And of course we gotta watch this cutscene again. This is also the spot where the route gets a bit more difficult. I should be good though. You would think though that it wouldn't really matter in which order we do the stars, just as long as we do the stars that are the fastest. However, the comets that are next to levels are actually on cycles, so the route is done in such a way that we actually get specific comets when we're actually at the dome. So if I start messing up the route a lot, then I might have to get some other stars if the comets don't start appearing. Sensor bar is sometimes a little bit thicky along the edges of the screen. Also, a fun thing about selecting stars in this level, if you don't aim at the screen, okay. That must have looked really fun. Which, I'll explain this level a bit now. Normally you have to go into the water and collect 5 star chips and then go to another planet. From that planet go back to this planet. But that's really slow. It's actually, you're able to just do backflips and triple jumps up there. The final triple jump I did up the waterfall is a bit tricky though, since the platform you're landing on is actually quite slippery. So it's really easy to just slide off that platform, but luckily that didn't happen. So now we're gonna do probably one of the quicker regular stars. It's basically here to teach you a little bit more about swim mechanics, which I can tell also a little bit about. The fastest way of going underwater is definitely spinning. However, Luigi loses more air when he spins underwater though, and once he's out of air, he actually starts taking damage and can actually die. So if we don't have the spin, we'll try avoid doing it, but most of the time we just want to go fast and just spin really fast. In this level you're supposed to grab this gold shell, which can be quite easily grabbed with a spin. And we gotta take it back to our penguin instructor. Oh, I actually got stuck under the platform. Oh. Oh. Come on, Luigi. Just get out of the water. Luigi! Luigi, please. It's right there. There you go. So this is the point where I need to start paying attention to the amount of starbits I already have in the observatory. I don't think I'm quite at 400 yet, so I need to actually focus a little bit more on grabbing some starbits in the next 2 levels. I think we're really close to the 400 though. We'll see it right here though. Hopefully just the next level will be enough to get the right amount of starbits. Oh, I only need 16 more. That should be easily grabbable in the next one. I don't know if there are any Mario Sunshine lovers out there, but there's actually an enemy returning from that game, which is the Cataquack. Everyone, you gotta love those. we actually have to use them to go high. You use them to get really high into the air to reach certain things. Luckily, most of the time we can skip using them, but there's a spot here and there where we actually use one, just because we can't actually do a wall. Also, I'm going wrong. Still grab the shell there. Actually have to utilize the shell here to breaking up a chest. So yeah, for most of the parts you gotta use the scatter quack, but for grabbing this big coin you can actually just do a triple jump and spin afterwards, and you're just high enough to grab the the coin to actually spawn the ice flower. And this is actually one of the few games where I actually like ice mechanics, because skating, when Luigi is on water, he can actually start ice skating, which is really fast. It's really fun to do. Also, we don't have to use the waterfall there by just doing a backflip. And now we use this Cataquack to actually be able to reach the star, if Luigi stops flying. Oh, gotta be careful there. Those big moving ice blocks actually destroy your platform, so you want to make sure you don't walk out right at the moment it starts breaking stuff, because you need that Cataquack to move over your ice platforms. So in this next level is probably one of the hardest skips for me in this game. It's not per se that hard, I should say. It's just sometimes it's just a bit random, which makes it annoying. You gotta do a wall kick off a very specific platform, but that platform, you can't wall kick off every part of that platform, so... And you can sort of aim for a good spot, but you don't always get it when you hit that spot. And it's really unforgiving if you actually miss it, because it's right at the end of the level. We have to go on top of these boxes to break all the boxes at once. And we gotta avoid the bad stuff. And shooting some star bits, because I already have more than enough. Oh, Luigi tends to run up there. We can skip a lot of... We'll do 2 long jumps to actually skip parts here. And the one I just did now, which skips a little bit, but the second one is definitely the more interesting one. Also, I messed up there a little bit, so we gotta wait for this guy. So we actually can make it to the star from right over here. Getting a good long jump. Spinning. Oh, but... Oh. That's unfortunate. Mostly because there isn't any checkpoints any earlier on this planet, so we just gotta do this whole part. I long jumped a little bit early. Alright, third tries the charm. Oh, again. Alright, maybe not third try. Come on. I think this is good there, yeah. There we go. But when you think that's the final thing of it, it's not, because we gotta do that skip again later! Yay! Hopefully I'll get it first try then. Now we're actually going to a pretty special level, I would say. As I mentioned earlier in the run, there's actually a part where we go to Luigi's mansion. As I said, in the Mario 80% of this level, you actually find Luigi in his mansion. But you might not find in this mansion what you expect right now once we're playing Luigi. because it's also Luigi. It's a really funny thing they did. Like, instead of making a Mario sprite, they actually kept Luigi in and made puns throughout the game, saying like, "Wait, is that like your twin brother?" And it's pretty funny. So we're grabbing a rainbow power-up here, just because of two reasons. The first thing is that we actually move faster when we have the rainbow power-up. And secondly, we can just kill enemies by running into them, which really helps for this boo, because normally you have to activate a light in this room and lure the boo to that light to kill it. But now we can just use the rainbow power-up and quickly get the key from him. And we gotta collect 5 star chips, which, as long as they're not on the screen, they're actually not moving. So this final one will always be at the exact right spot. I mean the exact same spot. Fortunately, I couldn't get a triple jump off there to grab it early. Now we can just backflip off this wall. And now a really cool skip is coming up. We're actually gonna skip most of this mansion. It's... most people call it mansion skip, but someone in my streams actually calls it Clippy Clip, and I always start calling it now as well, so this is Clippy Clip if I don't mess up. I have to reset up. Oh. Normally you don't have this much trouble with this skip. Come on, third try Clippy Clip. Oh. Don't know what's going on with me right now. Let's go, Luigi. Actually died there. Oops. Oh well, we can try again. There's a checkpoint right here. Don't know why I'm not getting this. Hello? This is taking longer than expected. Would have been faster by now to actually go inside, but I gotta show this off though. This is too cool to skip. We're gonna get it eventually. What? Okay, come on. Right, if I don't get it in the next 2 tries, I guess I'll do it the regular way. Oh, almost. Barely saved it. I'll just grab the key then. Fortunately, no Clippy Clip. You already meet a new power-up though, I really don't know. I never do this boss, so it's a bit of a backup strat, I guess. So we get the Boo power-up here, which actually makes you able to go through grates like this. However, every time you get into the lights, you actually lose your power-up, which you actually want to do here, because Luigi's right here, and he doesn't want to talk to Boo Luigi. And there you go, he has a star for us. And now that we saved Luigi, he can actually start looking for stars for us. There will be 3 stars we'll be grabbing that we first Luigi will find for us. Other Luigi. I know it's confusing. But there will be 3 instances where Luigi sends us a letter to show like, hey, I'm stuck here, but I found a star. Can you please save me? Most of those, 2 of those 3 are really fast. We only do the slower one because of the 3rd fast one after it. Also, right now we first gotta trigger Luigi to look for stars, but since we already have enough star bits, we're just gonna feed this guy first. And then right at the final moment, I'll do a long jump away from the cutscene. Just when this cutscene starts playing that I'm already moving towards Luigi. So we talk to Luigi. gonna say he's gonna look for stars. First one, he assumes there's a star somewhere in Good Egg Galaxy. Which, we'll see him pretty soon. So now, this level, it's pretty straightforward. It's just a long course with moving platforms and gaps. Not any real skips. It's just all about moving fast on this level. Which means we'll be doing a lot of long jumps with Luigi, which means you gotta hear a lot of... So much yeah. Also be collecting star bits here because there are quite a bit of star bits in here. And we still need 600 for another Hungry Luma later. Oh. Actually, don't get hit by the electric fences. Oh. So yeah. Remember how I told you how we're gonna see Luigi real quick again? Well, it's right after this level. We're gonna get the toad that's standing right back there, the male toad, is actually gonna automatically give us the letter about Luigi being stuck somewhere. For the next two ones though, we have to talk to Toad manually at certain points. It's really easy to forget to talk to this toad, so hopefully I can remember to talk to that toad 2 more times later. So Luigi is actually in this galaxy. They're saying that he's... I think they're saying that he's in the 3rd galaxy. But if you enter a level which you haven't entered before, you have to actually watch a long cutscene. But if we enter a previous entered level, you just go straight to the start. Which saves about 10 seconds. And he's just right on top of this house. And this is also the point in the game where we're gonna start collecting comet stars. So the first comet star will be race against Cosmic Luigi in the Honey Hive Galaxy. The Cosmic Luigi races, there was in the Mario any % run, it's against Cosmic Mario. And Cosmic Luigi gets significantly faster than Cosmic Mario. Luckily, I've already shown off this skip. We can do a skip which skips a lot of the race, which makes the race not that difficult anymore. Like for most of these races we'll try doing a skip. There's only, I think, 1 level where we race Cosmic Luigi and don't actually do any sort of skip. And that's also the most difficult Cosmic Luigi race. So I'll be trying to get a turbo dash right at the start here. By clicking right A at the right timing, you can actually get a golden start, which hopefully I can get. I didn't get it. It makes Luigi start moving really fast at the start. But maybe next time. We'll do quite a few more Cosmic Luigi races. Try avoiding the honey. It's really slow hitting that. And if I'm correct, I think we're moving back to the kitchen dome. Yeah, there aren't any more stars we'll be collecting in here until the very end. We'll actually do one comment I haven't explained yet, which is the double time comment. Which basically, there's only 2 instances of it in this run. I mean in the game, and we'll be doing both of them in this run. The double time comet will make the enemies move twice as fast, which you would think that it wouldn't that much of a problem, until you remember there's one really planet we were on before, which is on the stone cyclone with all the blocks that when you get stuck under them, it's an insta-kill. So actually having those fast can be quite difficult. But I can hopefully just get a good cycle right at the start here and we don't have to worry too much about them. And then in the end we gotta do the long jump skip again. Hopefully I can get it first right this time. Long jump up here. Wait for him a moment. Alright, here we go. There we go, first try. See, I can do this skip. I know how to play this game. So now we're going back to some regular stars again. First off with a secret star, which I wouldn't say it's that well hidden. Normally they try to hide the secret stars a little bit, but in this one it's pretty obvious where you have to go, I would say. You might miss it though if you don't look at all. We'll be returning to this normal level later though, once we go back to the kitchen. But for now we're just gonna get a secret. I wonder what this sparkly rock is. Oh, it's the way to the secret. Oh, that wasn't very well hidden. So over here we got an area where a lot of the level isn't seen and also isn't actually there if there's not one of these circles lighting them up, which makes some really nice skips possible. Also, I'm trying to align this over here to actually get a long jump up there. It's really useful that the walls aren't actually there as long as a circle is not aiming at them. It makes a few nice skips possible. So we gotta wait a little bit before it moves further up. But we'll try to grab the key up here as quickly as possible, because the star actually is in that little thing you see up there. And it will only open once we grab the key, so try to go up there as quickly as possible, grabbing the key, and opening this up for the star. And I think it's time for the Bowser level right now. If the Bowser level actually unlocks now, then I know I'm good. Oh wait, the Bowser level was already unlocked, never mind. I'm pretty sure this is the route. So for this level we first gotta traverse over a lot of airships to finally get to Bowser Jr. at the end. However, as I've mentioned before, Nintendo was really lazy with invisible walls. So we can actually just shoot to one of the last ships immediately without going the intended route. They want you to go straight there, but you can actually just go all the way to the left here and actually grab this pool star. Also, we got a lot of cannonballs over here. It's really difficult avoiding them. You actually don't hit them when Luigi ducks. I was actually hoping that it was gonna fly over me. Right, so Bowser Jr. This boss fight actually takes 5 hits. Not the usual Nintendo things you would think for a boss fight, because Nintendo likes doing things with only 3 hits on boss fights. But yeah, he wants 5 hits. Actually turns around after 3 hits, which makes it way harder to hit him. Oh, I missed through. Oops. It's get really hectic though. So another Grand Star over here, which means again we'll be unlocking an extra dome, which we won't be heading over to quite yet. We're actually gonna grab some extra stars in the fountain. So this is one of those 2 very important moments where we need to remember to talk to Toad afterwards. But I think we should be good there. So we'll be going to that dome. It will take a little while to go there. I think we'll only be there after like 5 more stars. So now Rosalina's really happy you lit up everything on the main floor of the observatory. And now she wants to also have the engine room lit up, which is actually the one that needs to be lit up. Oh, what did I just say? Talk to Toad afterwards. There we go. Wait, what? Feel like I messed up the route somewhere. There was supposed to be... I think I've missed a level in here. Whoops. Routing mistakes! Yay! We actually had to do one more level in here. This is gonna be really interesting with comet cycles now. Yeah, I needed to do this level earlier. Well, we'll see how it goes with comets. I might have to do alternate stars near the end. So this is another part of motion control, sort of. It mostly involves pointing at the screen. Because Luigi will get into a bubble and the pointer will turn into a fan. Once you press A, it will actually just blow towards Luigi. And you can go pretty fast with this, so we try to not actually run into mines, because that basically instantly kills you. Oh. Oh, go back. Here we go. And there's... Oh. Missed the launch star. And there's a second part of this bubble segment, but luckily Nintendo doesn't do invisible walls. So you can just go straight to the star there. So I think now, once I go back to Toad, he should have a ladder for me. If not, this is gonna be the most fun route you'll ever see of this game. Normally I've notes next to me of to which level I have to go when, so it's not really used to doing this without that. I wanted to actually open it up, but I forgot to do it before the run. But now we got the ladder for Luigi, so we can actually go back to the fountain here. Again, doing a triple jump, because teleporters are slow. But we won't be saving Luigi quite yet. We first gotta deal with a comet in here. Which, the white comet is the Daredevil comet, which means you only have 1 health to beat this level, so whenever you get hit, it's just over. Luckily, this boss fight isn't difficult at all, so I'd be really surprised if I actually get damage on this one. But there's always a first time for everything. So here we go, here's a spinning guy again. This always reminds me of Beyblade. Oh. Why did I have to jinx myself before entering this level? Luckily the level isn't too long, so it wasn't too much of a time loss. Okay, let's play it a little bit less risky. It's really unfortunate if he doesn't go to the far enough into the fence. We should be good now. Oh, please don't momentum into the ride. We're good. I think we're good with the Comet Cycles though, even though I did a few stars out of order. Because if it would, I would have really messed up, the Comet wouldn't be there at this point, but it was. And we're not gonna save Luigi quite yet. Hang on, Luigi, we'll be right there. We're first gonna do this level, which sends you to this planet which is full with platforms that disappear once you start moving, walking on them. And the challenge of this level is just collecting all musical notes that are on this planet. It's pretty straightforward level. Also, a little bit about this launch star. They actually want you to stand on the platform on top of it and wait until that platform disappears. You can just long jump underneath it. You see the music notes start appearing. And we're just gonna collect these. Gonna do one jump here. Oh. And then to quickly get to this star, we actually, at the moment we start to run up, we immediately do a ground pound. Just because the star is right at the spot of the gravity, it's just, no matter on which part of the planet you are, you always land into the launch star, so why not go there as quickly as possible? So now, finally, we'll be saving Luigi. Which makes us go back to Battle Rock again. Which means we gotta do the auto-scroller level again. Which we can collect some starbits here. But yeah, that's like the only useful part about auto-scrollers. First things first, we gotta do the annoying triple jump though. Nice, first try again. Also, I forgot to do this. The first time I did this level, you can actually skip that bouncing platform by doing a backflip immediately at the start of that, after you land. It saves a few seconds of actually jumping on the top of that guy's head. And now we wait again, run in circles, get starbits. If you would do the 120 star run of this game, you actually have to go to this level again, but then there will be purple coins on top of this moving auto-scroller. It can be quite annoying because they're usually really close to electric fences and the cannonballs. One thing about this game that many people don't know, which is really useful for that level, is that you can actually shoot these cannonballs and they drop a coin. So, if you ever play this game casually again, having trouble with this squad, just shoot the cannonballs with star bits. They give coins. So now we're right at the end, but you still gotta find Luigi, which is actually on the bottom of where the star originally was, so gotta lure this bullet bill straight over here. Oh, I got stuck on the cage there. So he actually is holding a green star, which won't really matter for this run since we won't be collecting all the green stars. But once you collect 3 green stars, you unlock 3 extra levels, which has a more difficult version with motion control, so either Manta Ray serving, the rolling on the ball, and a pool star level. But since collecting one of the green stars is really slow, we don't go there. Even though the levels themselves on that planet are, some of them are quite fast, just collecting the 3rd green star is really slow. So now we don't go to the bedroom yet, we're gonna make a quick stop at the kitchen again. If I can actually get up here. No, I need to do this first. We have to go to that other level later anyway, so it didn't really matter that I opened that level. Sometimes you just open the wrong level even though you don't have to go there in the run. It wastes a few seconds, but I don't think... There will be one more spot where that might happen, that I accidentally open the wrong level. Oh, don't get hit by these. And I guess the spoopy night isn't completely over yet, because we're now gonna do a very spoopy sprint against the boo in a field of bones. It's as spoopy as this game just gets. Oh. So it's basically a very long pool star pad which you have to beat in a certain amount of time. I'll try to actually not hold on too long to these pool stars, because once you start getting really close to the pool star, you actually lose a lot of your momentum. So we try not to hold on for too long. Also, these flying pieces of meat always makes me hungry. Actually, there was a little shortcut over there. And we can grab this pool star in the corner there. And hopefully I don't have to land on this one. Good. Still pretty good boo race. Was a little bit slow at the start, but still getting a sub 50 is usually pretty good on this level. Which also means we're over halfway done with the amount of stars already. Because I believe this is number 31. And since we're only collecting 61 in total in the end, this means that we just passed the halfway mark. Oh, never mind. It was already 1 star ago. The second half is faster than the first half though, so we're actually further than halfway through the run. So now we're going to this level. This is the only side level that actually has 2 stars in it instead of 1. And one of them is a green star, which we'll be collecting right now. It involves a little bit of swimming and actually underwater bullet bills. In this time we'll be unlocking a pipe down there, which you might already seen in the corner. And since if we would be constantly spinning, Luigi would run out of air way too early, we're just gonna swim really slowly towards the back of this cage, just so the bullet hill will hit it on the other side, and we don't actually run out of air. Oh. So now we're actually gonna need a bullet bill to open the cage for us, which hopefully doesn't hit one of these electric balls. It's always confusing which way Luigi's heading after that star. Now we're going for the star you would normally do in this level, which is a little bit longer. However, it involves collecting some blue star chips, which we get in a really interesting way, I would say. One is actually hidden inside a block, which I'll explain once we get there. So this level starts off similarly though. Gotta go underwater, get a bullet bill. Make sure he targets us. Yep. Now we're gonna hit this anchor. This makes part of the level rise up and making us actually able to climb this tower thing. Be a little bit careful there though. You can actually get stuck underneath those yellow platforms, and since you don't have a lot of air, that might actually cause you to die over there. I played it a little bit safe by going a little bit further back, so hurry up. So what you're supposed to do at this level is hitting a button and making all these platforms move around. However, that starts playing a cutscene that is pretty slow. However, there is one in this block. However, if you do a backflip right there, you can actually grab it through the block, making you actually not being able to grab that star chip without starting the platform moving. And one more star chip up here, and hopefully we can grab a pool star before falling down all the way. And we did. Got hit by the electricity though. Right at the end here. And after this we're finally going to that bedroom, which we've unlocked so long ago. And the first level that we're gonna do in there is Gusty Garden. And in my opinion it has the greatest music in the game, so I'll probably won't be talking that much in that level, mostly because not a lot of things are going on in there. And just so you can enjoy the music in there. And we already collected so many stars that once we get in here, we actually already unlocked the Bowser level there. Unlocking Bowser levels doesn't take lots of stars. So on this first level we just gotta use some flowers to actually fly from planet to planet. We'll be grabbing a few star bits along. We'll try to collect some star bits along the way, just so we can shoot the bunny at the end, so we don't have to chase him all the way. Which we'll actually do by collecting these coins with a question mark in the air. Also bouncing on the piranha to keep our momentum. We're actually gonna try to skip an island over here. Normally you're supposed to land on this first platform, but if you keep flying far enough and stay in the wind, you can actually already make it to one of the final platforms. There you go. Now we gotta kill this guy. I'll wait for him a little bit to attack us. Now we're going to the planet with the bunny. I'll try to stand not too close to the bunny, so the bunny will actually stop around the edge over there. If you go too close to him, he'll actually start moving over there. But nice, we hit him. That was a really good catch. Let me also take a quick look at how many star bits we have. I think we're around 300 now, which should be a good pace. Yeah. I'll need to... Gusty Garden is usually a few very good levels to collect star bits. Also, this next level is probably gonna have the most annoying planet in the entire run, at least in my opinion. Just because the mechanics behind some enemies we have to defeat is a bit weird. Because you already... There's actually a boss fight over there. There's actually moles going around in here, and to actually kill the moles you have to ground pound near them and then hit them again. However, for some reason the moles don't move when they're not on screen. Therefore, if you... The planet that's coming up is actually really quite annoying to actually see the entire level. The entire planet, I should say. So sometimes you just continuously keep looking for moles, and then you just realize that they're actually just hiding behind the planet itself, and they're not moving because that's a good thing. The next one should be over here, if I don't run into spikes. Some of these move really fast, so it's pretty difficult to chase them. So you gotta sort of intercept them somewhere. Should be right there. And for the final one is... You can actually hear the moles moving there, so you know when he's supposed to be on screen. But weren't the greatest moles, wasn't the worst either. Luckily we're done with that planet. This is actually an optional planet. You can grab one of those pool stars and actually collect some extras over there, but we don't need those. Also, this is like one of the few levels where Nintendo actually plays some invisible walls. Technically we could jump high enough to go to the next apple, but they place an invisible wall around where this caterpillar was gonna be. The only time where we have... One of the two times where we have to avoid invisible walls. So right here is another boss fight coming up, which is King Burrows, a very big mole, which is causing trouble to the bunnies. So to actually kill him, we need to do a ground pound near him, like other moles, but we have to wait until he pops out. And once we hit him once, he'll actually start targeting us and starts chasing us around instead of the bunny. Which you want to try to stay as close to him as possible, because then he'll pop up more quickly. And once he's popping out, he actually starts running away. However, if you shoot him with Starbeast, he actually runs slower, so we try to... At the moment he pops out, we just shoot him with Starbeast to freeze him in place as much as possible. Also, we do two ground pounds after each other right there. Normally, he'll go back into the ground and start charging you again. However, for some reason, the game still thinks the mole, King Burrows, is out when you do that. So if you ground pound instantly again, you're actually still close enough to make him pop out again, even though the animation still shows him in the air. We're actually gonna collect 5 stars here in Gusty Garden. So, more time to enjoy the music. We'll be first collecting the secret star in this level, which is pretty, I would say pretty obvious where it is. But actually acquiring it is a little bit difficult. Because on a planet a little bit further, you can see it in the back there, is a golden chump. And destroying the golden chump gives you the star. However, you need some way to destroy the golden chump. And for that we need the rainbow power-up. And getting the rainbow power-up can sometimes be a bit annoying, because we have to grab all these question mark coins, because then in the end a rainbow will spawn. Luckily it didn't cause any troubles. Sometimes you miss one of the question mark coins while you're flying with the flower, because that movement can sometimes be a little bit tricky. Now we just run over to this golden chump and we reveal the star. Now we're gonna do the actual star in this level, which it started off the same. We'll still be going for the rainbow Luigi, just because he moves a little bit faster, and there are a lot of things that can damage you on that planet with a golden chump. So it's usually just faster to actually get the rainbow star, even though it takes you a few seconds to actually spawn it and grab it. Most of the time it's actually worth it to grab it. And also, since we've done the level already, we can skip the intro cutscene. And also getting all these coins gains you a lot of star bits as well. Also, I try to hit these piranhas early with a star bit, because we can then just run into them instead of actually having to spin. I just went to the piranha right now instead of to the coin. Oh, don't hit the golden chump, it actually makes the star spawn again. So on this few planets or platforms you need to collect some star chips, which we can skip some of the intended ways to grab these star chips. Normally you have to climb in a lot of poles here, but hopefully we can skip using all the poles here. So another one over here, you can just grab by a long jump hopefully. There we go. The final part of this level involves a lot of these question marks blocks, which we use arrows to change the gravity. However, there is a skip in this level we are gonna do though, which skips about half of this section. Because you can actually hopefully do a long jump over here and actually hit this arrow. I spent a little bit too early, unfortunately. Normally you hit the arrow on the platform where I did the long jump, and you have to go to another annoying section with a lot of cannonballs. Also, that Goomba sometimes just hits you. Okay, try that again. There we go. Oh, I'm actually gonna grab this coin just to be safe. We should be good though. So we're almost done in Gusty Garden now. Just the comet is left, which should be spawning after this. And that involves the Daredevil comet again, which means not being able to get hit. But it's just the boss fight of the level, so it's a really fast star. Also, we have quite amount of star bits yet, so for most levels I can start skipping collecting the star bits. Because there will be one level in a couple of stars where we are able to collect a lot of star bits. So I can collect about 150 in there. Since I only need 160 more, I only need to be collecting starbits in 1 or 2 levels. So we're finding this boss again, exactly the same as before. No new threats or anything. I almost got hit there. Oops. You don't have a lot of starbits in this level to make him slow down, so it's important that you grab a lot of starbits here from hitting him. But you don't need all of them on the second phase, because I think he drops 16 on the second phase, and would be a bit overkill. So, actually want to get rid of all the starbits again, just so we can skip the text box at the end of the level saying how many starbits we've gotten. So now we're going to the Freeze Flame Galaxy, which I would say is one of the most difficult levels in this run. It involves... Lava is always scary in this game, because Luigi only has 3 health, and once you get stuck on lava it's pretty difficult to get off, just because he just starts jumping to random spots. Also, you need to open the correct level. The first 2 levels won't have any lava yet though. The whole thing about this level is like it's half ice level, half fire level, and then the final star will combine those 2. But since the secret is in this first one, we'll technically do 2 ice levels and then 1 fire level. And luckily we can do ice mechanics again, which is so fun. Ice skating is so fun in this game. We're gonna try to grab Penguin here with just 2 long jumps. Oh, I landed on the great platform, but it was still a pretty quick catch. And now that we caught him, he's like, I think you might be able to help us with our problem of this mean guy that's over here. Well, he's wrong though, because we're not gonna fight that guy yet. This will actually be the first level where we finally see one of the most traditional Mario series power-ups, the Fire Flower. Also, I didn't need this Ice Flower. It will make this part a little bit easier, I guess. No. Normally you don't want to grab Ice Luigi. So yeah, the Fire Flower, which is very similar to the Ice Flower. Only the thing is you can shoot fireballs with this, which we're gonna have to use for a lot of things. You can technically skip destroying that snowman by doing a good long jump on the side. However, I think there's an invisible wall there that might sometimes mess you up a little bit. So, but we mainly need that Fire Flower just to destroy the snowman, which has the launch star in it. Now we don't actually need it in this level anymore. Actually skipping this part by doing a backflip on top of his head. Skipping another part, just doing a backflip on this part. Oh, not high enough yet. And that's the star. So now we're gonna actually do the intentional star of this game, of this level, I mean. Which involves catching the bad guy the penguin was talking about. Which is, I would say, a pretty weird boss. I don't really know what it is. I just don't know how it can be a living thing. You'll see him in a moment. So the first half of this star is gonna be the same as the previous one. Besides, of course, the cutscene skips at the start. Oh, on the great platform again. The ice mechanics, which the fastest way to move on ice is actually doing long jumps, just like it is on regular. The mechanics are a little bit different though, because Luigi doesn't turn around that easily after doing a long jump on ice. Because when you do regular long jumps on land, you actually have a little bit of time to adjust your angle afterwards to actually keep chaining your long jumps. However, that's a bit more difficult with Ice Luigi, I would say. So I'm gonna try skip grabbing an ice flower over here. By doing that segment really quickly, we can just quickly use our eyes to get close to here and just walk it up. And then this boss fight is the king of all ice blocks. I don't know, apparently it's the same. Sometimes the hitbox on him is a little bit weird, but usually spinning close to him should remove the ice around him. So yeah, I did grab some star bits in this level, so I'll probably only grab star bits in one level and just shoot star bits in all the others. So now we're getting to the fire level, which, if I actually do this good, we won't be seeing lava boosts, but if it happens, it doesn't really matter that much. It loses a little bit of time. Because there are actually quite two really nice skips you can do in this level, which we'll see in a moment. First we gotta collect star chips on this planet though, which has some very interesting mechanic. If you actually spin and start ice skating, and you let go of your control stick, when you get to the to the crystal, you actually stop moving, which makes grabbing the star piece afterwards really easy. As you saw there, I actually didn't hold back completely, so Luigi was still moving. Because it takes a little while for the star chip to be grabbable. So now we're in the fire part of this level. What you're supposed to do here is collect a fire flower and light some candles over here to actually create a place where we can wall jump up. However, if we just do a jump of this pillar, you can just instantly go to the next spot. Same goes for this part. Gotta collect a fire flower and light some candles. However, if you do a long jump to the right there, you can just instantly go to this spot. Oh, lava boost! Are we actually killing this guy for a coin? Just because if I accidentally do a lava boost, I die and I don't want that. So we're just gonna skip the platforms over there and just use the fire flower. And if you can actually hover for a while with the fire flower power up. By shooting fireballs, Luigi actually goes a little bit upwards for a few times. So you can actually keep hovering in the air, just so you can wait for that platform to appear. So now we're gonna get another Cosmic Luigi race, which, as you might have seen, all the levels have a name as well, but for some reason I really like the name of this level. Might have to do with my username, but Frosty Cosmic Luigi Race. They knew I was gonna speedrun this game at one point. So yeah, we actually haven't seen this part of the level yet, because that will be during the next star. But during the next star, it will be slightly different though. It won't be as easy as this one, so to say. Oh, didn't get a quick start again. We can do some really cool long jumps on here though, which can skip quite like a few parts. First part over here. So, should be shooting my starbits as well. And then there we go. We're gonna do the final star in here, which will be a combination of ice and fire level. So you'll see some ice skating, you see fire. Well, you'll only see a little bit of fire because we're actually gonna skip most of the fire part in this level. But first things first, we gotta deal with this first planet again, which looks a little bit different now. There are lots of fireballs and lava up here, but if you do a long jump to that side, you can instantly go to where the launch star is. This planet is really interesting. The first half we're on is actually the ice part of the level, which involves freezing water where we can't stay in too long. And the second half has the fire part, where a lot of lava is constantly going up and down in the same rhythm as water is going up and down on this side. To get off this planet, we actually need to get the fire flower, which is back there. But we can just jump over this gate and skip the entire fire part of this level, of this planet. I need to do a backflip out though. And if you long jump off this gate, you can do a really fun long jump off and just fly to the other side of it. Oh. You don't have a lot of time for this fire flower. As a casual player, you feel almost like this amount of time you get is too short. At least that's what I experienced the first few times I played this game. It was always just not fast enough to grab it. So yeah, now we're at this part again. Unless, besides now, some of the platforms are fire, which we can ice skate on. Like, it's really weird, I know, Ice Luigi not melting on top of lava. It works though. So yeah, that's Freeze Flame Galaxy. That went pretty smoothly, I would say, not any major mistakes. And now it's time for the level where we're probably collecting the rest of our needed star bits. No. Sensor bar, still not my favorite part about the Wii. So we're gonna see the B power up again, and it's basically an entire level of B Luigis going along the honey hive walls. But there are also many star bits among these walls. And the level by itself isn't that hard, so I'll be mostly focusing on grabbing star bits. Also, if you time your flies, if you don't go all out with your flies, you can actually skip certain parts of this level. You can just go straight to the launch star up here. Also star bits! This part can be quite tricky, but you can actually just fly in front of this part and actually not get hit by the meteorites. You have to make a landing at one point though, so... There Actually gonna try using the momentum of this platform. More star bits. I think we have more enough to finish this run. We only need 600 in the end, and I think I already had almost 500. We'll just keep collecting star bits in this level, just to be safe. You also need to be really careful by not flying too high in this level, because once you start flying too high, the Ouija will actually not be... the gravity won't be pointing at the wall anymore, and it will actually be pointing down, which... if you just lose your flight at the moment you change gravity, you just fall all the way down again. And usually that ends with falling you in a pit. Yeah, we have way more than enough star bits. So now we're going to the Bowser level again. We're actually not going to that level because that level is awful. It's a desert level which is... all the stars in there are really slow. So this Bowser level involves a lot of changing gravity fields. And there's gonna be a really cool trick on that second part you just saw in the preview over there. A little bit overboard with that long jump there. So what you usually want to... what's intended in this level is that you actually go on these moving platforms and they slowly move towards the place where you have to go. But we can just do a triple jump up there and actually we don't have to wait for that. I'm missing a cycle here. We're just gonna wait a little bit. I don't want to risk it by doing a way too risky long jump. So yeah, the second part also involves a moving platform which you should be riding and constantly be avoiding falling off. Like you should be heading to the left side of this thing now. If we do a long jump up here, we can actually skip that entire section and just land on the next one. We don't actually have to save the first Luma. Technically you don't have to save the second one either. But I think it's a little bit easier to just break that one open and use the stairs to get to Bowser. So yeah, we're at Bowser again, which is pretty much the same mechanics as before. Like we have to make him jump on the blue circles. However, he is getting a little bit more complex with his attacks. Because now he'll start spinning towards us. But if we counter spin him, we actually make him go to the next spin a little bit faster. Right now he only did one spin, but you'll see in a moment that he'll start doing more spins later. Also we want to cancel him shooting fireballs, just because it's slow to wait for him. Go. Oh, but then you need to avoid the fireballs though. So yeah, one more hit on him. And now he'll do 3 spins. And you don't want to get hit though, because then he'll start doing his spins again. I'm actually gonna play it a little bit safe over here. Just because I'm on 1 health, I didn't want to risk actually accidentally getting hit by Bowser instead of doing a counter spin against him. Oh. Whoops. I shot Bowser at a little bit more of an angle than I thought, so I missed him for a circle there. So yeah, now with beating this Bowser, we're actually, this will be the final Grand Star we're unlocking. There's technically one more Bowser Jr. fight in the next dome, which also unlocks a Grand Star, which unlocks an extra dome. To beat the game, you don't actually need to go to that final dome. So we're just gonna... right now, Rosalina will tell how many stars we need to fly to the center of the universe. Which, we don't need any Grand Stars to do that, because the Grand Star levels are always really slow. I believe we're at 46 stars right now, so... we'll be getting a lot of stars in the next dome, though. And also unlocking the observatory upstairs. Also unlocking a teleport. Unfortunately, we can't skip this teleport, so we have to ride the slow teleport elevator. Already unlocked 4 galaxies in that dome over there. Normally only one level is unlocked there if you just beat Bowser as quickly as possible once it unlocks. But since we've been grabbing some way more stars, we're fine on that. So the first level we're doing here is Gold Leaf. Gold Leaf is basically a counterpart of a level we've already seen before, really early in the run, Honey Hive. It's basically that level mirrored for the general area, but once you start going to different planets, it's just completely different. So for this level, we first gotta collect some star chips to actually unlock the launch star, which are pretty well spread around this main area. Luckily, we can do our slide walking again by just spinning as quickly as possible. Back flipping up here. And this next star chip is going to be a little bit tricky. I have to get off this wall. Normally you have to walk all the way around. But by doing a backflip, spin, and then doing a wall kick, it will actually be just high enough to get it. Also, I missed this one, so I'll do a backflip over here. And the final one is in the middle of these piranhas. Now, since we have to be catching a bunny in a moment, I'll be grabbing some star bits over here. Hopefully it's enough though. Also the only place where we utilize first person mode, just so we can grab a very high pool star. So yeah, I think this is the final bunny we're catching though. You have to catch a lot of bunnies in this game. Oh, I wasn't able to hit it, so I gotta lure him to the water because the bunny actually walks slower in the water. Still a pretty decent catch. In this next one we're gonna collect the secrets before collecting the actual level. I've been doing that for the entire run, but in this one it's especially useful to do the secret first, because if you can skip the intro cutscene, some of the boulders that are rolling around the level won't actually be blocking off your path yet. So, and since we need to go in the direction of the boulders for the actual level, we're not gonna do that one yet and just go a different way. Because then the next time we do this level, we can actually just move around this part a little bit more easily without having to avoid boulders. we're gonna spin up here again. You gotta collect some music notes again. And this time a song is actually playing. And the faster you're collecting these notes, the faster the song will sound. And it boom. I don't think that's the original speed of that song. And we just go straight into the star there. So now for the actual level. The actual level is actually pretty hard. Normally you have to utilize a lot of the cataquacks, which we've seen earlier, which launches us up really high. However, you have to make those cataquacks follow you around different planets. And that's pretty slow, so we'll be trying to do some triple jumps, followed by a spin to go to following planets. However, it's pretty difficult to get a triple jump on certain planets. Oh. It's not too bad getting hit by that cataquack because we wanted to go up here anyway. So this first one, we just do a triple jump up here, do a spin, and we just go straight to the next planet. So for this next one, I have to utilize this box on the left side over here, which I barely missed. You need to get a triple jump off that box. Which, no. Let's try this one more time. There we go. So unfortunately we do have to use the cataquack over here. It's really difficult to actually get a triple jump off the end there. This final pod, we first need to collect the B power up again. Final time in the run, I think, though. And then you would need to move around all these flowers up here, but Luigi can actually fly a little bit higher than Mario. Therefore, you can just move up a little bit higher. Fortunately, couldn't get a quick fly up there, so we have to utilize that other platform. I also forgot to shoot my star bits, so we're gonna see this star bit text box again. Yay! This next level is probably one of my favorites in the speedrun. Just because it's pretty mechanic heavy with certain tricks we're gonna do. But if you get them all correctly, it just looks... You make this level so much quicker than it's actually supposed to be done. So, what is intended in this level is that you go all the way around to get to these blocks up here. But there's this one tree we can actually use to wall kick off and get high enough. The camera is a little bit weird here though, so hopefully you get this. Then we're not going to use the B, we're just going to do a wall kick up here. Backflip against this fence, do a ground pound, spin against this wall, and we're right at the end of the boss fight. You can actually skip this little cutscene if you enter this cutscene far enough to the left. However, it's really difficult, and I didn't try to go for it. Just because if you miss it, then you actually just... Oh. Just gonna do that again. A little bit slow there. Now we shoot 5 bubbles of those. And then we... Oh! Can save this. There we go. Oh, there we go. Luigi takes a little while to get his momentum going, so sometimes you think you have enough momentum, but then it just took a little bit too long. So we got one more star left in this level, which is another Cosmic Luigi race, which will be... It will look very similar to the level we've just done. We don't need to go all the way up to that tree, but it's still most of the same platforms that are there. So we're gonna be utilizing the same skip we've done before by doing a wall kick up the tree. But this time it's slightly different, just because when you approach this tree this time, the camera doesn't actually turn around. So last time we actually had to use the camera while Luigi was behind the tree. Now the camera will be on the same side as Luigi, which it's basically the same trick. It's just you gotta do it from a different camera angle. Let's see if we can at least get the head start at least once during this run. Oh. We got one more chance of getting a head start during a Cosmic Luigi race. So yeah, this time the camera doesn't turn around, so we just gotta do it with this camera angle, and it still worked out. If it takes more than a few tries though, Cosmic Luigi actually beats you and you instantly die in the level, which makes you start all over again. Now we're going to Toy Time Galaxy, which has a really cool level design. It has one of the most annoying power-ups ever though. Luckily we can skip using it. It's slow though. We'll be going to that 8-bit Mario a little bit later in the run. I think two more... We'll do 2 other stars in here first. Oh. Didn't get my long jump off there. Captain Toad. So yeah, the power-up you're unlocking here is the spring power-up. However, you move extremely slow with it. The only useful thing about it is that you can bounce really high. However, I've already shown that a lot of these things can be skipped by just doing good wall kicks and spins. And just long jump over to that side. Oh no, stop it. So yeah, once you grab that coin, the spring power-up would spawn, but we're not gonna need it. Oh, oops. Luckily there was a checkpoint right before that, I think. Yeah. I'll do it a little bit more safe now. Actually doing a backflip or a side flip. Alright. Not too bad. Then again, we're not gonna use spring. We're just gonna do a backflip. Up here. Now the most interesting part of this level. Normally you have to go through quite a lot on Mecha Bowser. Luckily there's a thing we call Mecha Bowser skip, which we're actually able to skip most of Mecha Bowser. Like, Actually utilizing his arm to the side here. You can actually do a wall jump off here. And oh, I missed the arm. Let's try that again. Good. I need to get on this yellow thing. No. We saved it. Or at least didn't die. This skip can be quite annoying now and then. No! If you actually hit that yellow platform from the bottom, you lose your wall kick momentum thing. So I need to be careful not to hit that again. There we go. It was only like 4th try. Again, don't miss the spring power up. Just gonna do a wall kick off this stack of blocks. It was probably still faster than doing this casually, because you actually have to go inside Mega Bowser and have to go through many parts in there. So this next level, probably the final level where I'll be collecting star bits, because there's a hungry Luma in this level that I have to feed. Sometimes I forget collecting star bits here, and that really messes up with the final few comets. So I need to remember after I use the first launch star, that I actually grab the star bits that are flying in the air. It happens way more often than it should. Also, there's the 8-bit Mario, which we'll do after this star. And don't forget to collect these star bits. Should be enough. Yeah, we only need 50. We got exactly 50. Not anymore. Wait. It's on this one. Also bye Luma. You go explode or transform. Well, this next planets are our great friends, the big blocks again, which again are insta-kill if you get stuck underneath them. But the really annoying part about them is, even though there are safe spots like that where you can hide in, you can still get stuck underneath the edge of the swamp, of the block on that side. So even though you think you're safe in there, it doesn't always happen. Gotta hit all these switches in order to make the star appear. Oh, got a little bit stuck in between those there. Actually, try hitting this corner. Oh. Oh. This time this time around, this planet isn't that hard. However, there will be a comet in this level later which will be a double time comet again, which makes the enemies move in here twice as fast again. Those blocks can be really scary if they are moving that fast. Oh. So now we're actually going to 8-bit Mario. This time we luckily don't have to collect the star bits, so I can just focus on other stuff. Neatos. Just pointing off the screen makes the pointer disappear completely. It's really useful to not grab any star bits. Oh, don't get hit there. This one. Go on top of the screw. Put the third one over here. Not too much going on in this level. Just trying to do long jumps as much as possible to be a little bit quicker. Shooting our leftover bits. And now we're at 8-bit Mario. We gotta collect 5 silver stars on this, which doesn't pose that much of a problem. The M on his head are all star bits though, even though we don't need them. But now I don't know who it is anymore. With the M disappearing on top of his head. It can be anyone now. Make sure I don't get stuck on this platform. Oh, lava boost! That lava boost wasn't intentional though. We'll be doing one more intentional lava boost in the final level. But up until that point I don't think there's any more lava. So now we're going through this comet with the fast foes. Which is, besides moving the enemies twice as fast, is basically the same as before. We'll be grabbing the switches in the same order just to reduce the amount we have to walk along these planets. We might have to wait now and then to wait for blocks to move out of our way. Biscuit over here. Oh. Let's try it again. This one. Still okay. Also, these platforms move really fast. Which, if you actually do a jump while you're going the opposite direction you want to go, you actually can get momentum backwards. Which can be annoying now and then. Oh. So yeah, that's funnest star in Toy Time Galaxy. Which means we're going to the final major level we're gonna unlock. Which involves a thread which we won't be seeing until right in this level. But first we basically got an auto-scroller level again. Oh. Which is a water level. Yeah. Water levels tend to be usually pretty slow because swimming is normally slower than doing long jumps or anything. But there's a nice little strat we can do which we can make swimming a little bit faster. But since for now we have to just follow the shark in this level, it wouldn't make any sense to try going for that thread. Oh. Just gonna spin towards him. A really cool thing I like about this level though is that when you use a shell, you can actually press the C button and brake with the shell, and it actually has two small red braking lights. Yeah, we just gotta wait for him to swim towards the end. The only way to sort of thread on this level is trying to avoid all the coins just to prevent the text box from appearing after the level. But besides that, it's just waiting around mostly. Gonna stay right behind him. He's gonna do a little bit of zigzagging. Final one will be right between these blocks. Also throwing our shell away just so we can do a long jump in the end. Also poor penguin. So now we're actually gonna try doing a faster swimming thread against again during the Cosmic Luigi race. If I don't get this trick at all, that means I'll lose the race. But hopefully I can just get it relatively quick. The thing we'll be doing is called surface swimming. When you go approximately parallel with the water and you start spinning, Luigi actually gets stuck on the surface, which makes swimming really quick for some reason. Also the final try for me to get the head start during a Cosmic Luigi race. There we go. This makes getting us to the water a little bit more quickly. Let's see if we can get stuck on the surface. No. There we go. No! There we go again. You just have to keep spinning really fast though when you're on the surface. The first time I wasn't spinning fast enough, so Luigi just jumped out of the water instead of continuing with the surface swim. It's still a little bit faster than using the shell though. I got two more chances actually to show the surface swim off, because we gotta do another race in the water here. So now we're gonna race the penguins in this level. These penguins aren't really fast, so technically if I would mess up all the surface swims, we'll still win anyway. So we first gotta talk to this head penguin. He's really nice, but he doesn't want to give us the star though, until we beat him. We're trying to save someone here. That's a good question as well. Why does he have a star? Also, I couldn't get the surface swim on the first half. We just gotta start. For this part we have to use the shell though, because there isn't really any spots where we can surface swimming. Technically you can do it for like one surface swim up there, but then you will lose your shell and it wouldn't be worth it. Really cool racing music. Let's go. Oh, decent time. If I would have gotten both service swimmers, it would be around the sub 1, I would think. So it only cost us 5 seconds, approximately. So yeah, we're almost at the end now. We just need to collect 2 more stars in 2 pretty quick stars, I would say. The first one we'll be doing is a little bit annoying though, because the one previous mechanic of this game is returning, where enemies aren't moving when they aren't on screen. Sometimes it can be a bit useful, sometimes it's annoying. We'll see what it will be today. So we're gonna go down here. Actually gonna use all these star bits we've saved up for this guy. He needs so many star bits. And he doesn't even need that many in comparison to some other Hungry Lumas. The one that needs the most in this level wants 2000 star bits, which makes the 120 star category of this game a little bit annoying, because you actually have to start farming star bits in levels and constantly die just to collect more of them. I would definitely say the any percent category is way more interesting than the 120. So yeah, in this level we gotta beat the 3 eels that are swimming around. However, they can be quite tricky to hit. Good first one. Now we actually gotta find a shell. I like going for the red shells here because they actually home onto the eels a little bit more easily. Now I just gotta find it again. So this is the time when it's annoying when they're not moving, when they're not on screen, because sometimes you might just be completely avoiding them, thinking they might swim around. It was still pretty okay. Like, getting that first eel was... Normally I don't get the first one that quickly, so it won't be that bad. Oh, the ship is right over here. Oh. So one more quick start to grab before heading to the final level of this game. Which means we gotta see Luigi again. I mean, other Luigi. Luigi combo. So we gotta talk to the Meal Toad. Got one more letter on where Luigi might possibly be. Also, we don't need any more star bits, so we can just shoot them around. You get a star bit. You get a star bit. Everyone gets a star bit. Luigi is luckily not that far into the level. So we're just gonna run up this slide again. Oh, Mario isn't in this game. We already saved Mario a few hours back. Now we get... It's really weird though. Two Luigis. Well, Luigi is the better brother though, I would say. Actually, I am. So yeah, now that we got 60 stars, this means the Star Observatory finally has enough stars to fly to the center of the universe. So we get a little cutscene over here while Rosalina transforms the observatory into an airship. Because she's magical. Don't know how she got those powers though. It does look like an egg.
Go, Luigi!
They actually changed her, like in the, if you would play this game with Mario, of course she will say, go Mario, but I really like the addition of actually using that sentence and changing it to go Luigi. Just, Luigi deserves some attention as well now and then. Mario normally always gets everything. Alright, so the final level, which involves many different mechanics we've seen before. Some we haven't seen before though yet. Lava boost. Gotta wait here a little bit. Also, one more lava boost coming up. Let's go! Luigi, best ice skater ever. Gonna wait here a little bit to skip this planet. Also some moving gravity pod. Oh. Also, we don't need starbits anymore, so we can just shoot how much ever we want. Don't get hit. Oh. Oh. Grabbing these coins. Totally intentional. I didn't want to stop lava boosting yet. So here we see Bowser Jr. again. There's the princess. After almost 3 hours, we finally see her. Take that, Bowser. Take some starbits. You also get some starbits. So walking up these stairs is actually more difficult than it seems. Just Luigi tends to grab the next ledge quite often. It was a pretty fast movement towards Bowser. So now the final boss fight is starting. This boss fight consists of 3 stages, and the final stage is really familiar to the previous ones we've done before. But the first 2 ones are a little bit different. For this first one, Bowser doesn't actually turn into... Actually uses a power-up of the next game in this series. Was a spoiler, and no one saw it coming. Yeah. For this first fight, we just have to hit Bowser in the head once he starts turning into a boulder. This second phase is really quick. We just gotta hit the green balls into him, and then he'll just instantly be able to be hit again. Wait a little bit. Oh, oops. Oh, that works. Okay, this final part actually has a little bit of more strat behind it. Bowser turns into a spike ball here, but if you get damaged afterwards, you'll actually instantly go out of the spike ball animation, which makes him instantly go jump. And we're gonna do that once more, just to skip him from running around forever. So we're gonna hit his face. He shot 1 fireball, which we're gonna hit right now. And then he'll just jump straight to the circle. One more hit. There we go. Time will be coming up soon, in about half a minute. We just gotta watch this little cutscene of Bowser flying into the fire. And here we go. 1 more star to grab. Time will be when I grab this final star. So... and time. Oh, pretty decent run there. So, yeah, this was Super Mario Galaxy with Luigi, the better brother. I hope you all enjoyed it, even though run got a little bit split up. But yeah, next up is Kingdom Hearts. Yeah.